Hi everybody, I'm going to try and do a video just showing you my current planner setup, and I'm doing a live voice over this time rather than a recorded voiceover. So I'm going to try and do it in one take, so let's see how we go. So I was previously in a Filofax personal size for my everyday carry. But I think I mentioned in a previous video that I kind of fell out of love with it because I didn't have any need to go anywhere. Obviously with the current situation, I don't have to go out particularly. So it kind of changed how I felt about having an everyday carry, basically. An everyday carry being the information I need to take out and about with me. So normally I'd have information I need to take out separately to like journaling, playing around, sort of like more sort of the things that I need at home. So normally I have them separately, but because I wasn't really going out, I have no reason to go out at the moment, I kind of wanted to put it all in one, and I suppose I felt like I just wanted to change basically. Now I had this cover. This is absolutely gorgeous cover. This is a Hobonichi cover from the 2020 collection. This is one of the Mina Perhonen covers, and it's Woodbird in the A6 size, and it's gorgeous. And I think, it was on my shelf for several months, and I just admired it, and every now and then I picked it up to sort of feel it. And I was kind of nervous to use it, to be honest. And I think I just decided probably now's a good opportunity to use it because I'm not obviously going to be throwing it in my bag anytime soon. I'm not going out and about with it, so I might as well sort of take advantage of that and use it now. And I was kind of nervous, and I spent ages kind of looking at other covers, and maybe I should just use one of the plastic covered ones and stuff. I thought, no, what's the point in having this if I'm not going to use it? I'm not the kind of person to kind of keep things on a shelf and just look at them. I feel like these things are meant to be used. Personally, obviously, everyone's different. So I thought I'd have a go. So I basically moved into here for the time being, and we'll just kind of see how it goes. So I'll show you a flip through of what I have in here. And yeah, let's see how it goes. So in the pocket here I have, this is a book I made myself from a free, no, I didn't make it from pre-printable. I actually made it myself. I think I did it on Excel. I can't remember now. This is like a monthly cycle tracker. So I have various symptoms down the side. And then these numbers across the top are actually the cycle date, not the actual date. And I've got a gap along the top so I can write in the date. So for example, this month is May. So that's actually 30th of April, but then this is 1st of May, 2nd of May. Because I'm kind of tracking all my symptoms by cycle date. It's easier to see rather than by date. Yeah, so that's kind of useful for me to have so I can kind of see what's going on with my body, basically. I can't remember who did that sticker. If I remember, I'll put it in the link below. So that just goes in there. I have 2 laminated emergency cards, one in English, one in Japanese, just in case. I have my address on this one because sometimes when I'm out and I have to write my address in Japanese, I get in a bit of a fluster and I can't remember how to do it. So I have that with me, I can just pull out. Also useful, I suppose, if it gets lost. These are a couple of photos in here that I haven't stuck down yet. I just like them. Reminded me of places I want to be, feelings I want to have. I'd love to be there, I'd love to be there. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do with them yet, but they're just in there. Got a couple of washi cards, tiny little thin washi tapes here. Because they're quite useful for a tiny planner, and then sort of bigger ones here. So they fit in that pocket. I have this little bookmark. I don't use it very often, but it's nice to have a bookmark if I need to kind of clip the pages down. A little drawing my son did ages ago that I always keep with me, and this is the same. Little smiley face. So that's what's in there. So this is a Hobonichi Avec, so A6 Avec. So the Japanese version, split into two, January to June, July to December. So this is the January to June one. Now, I obviously only started using it recently, so at the very end of April. So there's quite a lot of pages that are completely empty or not used, or I've sort of reused them for other things. Favourite photo of my son there. This is my sort of daily... they're called affirmations, aren't they? Basically, I'm reading through The Artist's Way at the moment and writing morning pages every morning. And one of the exercises fairly early on in the book was to write out all the sort of negative thoughts you have about yourself or about being creative. And then once you have all your negative thoughts, you write a load of positive ones next to it. And then the idea being that if you then repeat those positive ones every day, you'll start to sort of cancel out the negative thoughts. I think that's how it works. So I just have them there so that I can sort of read them when I need to. And I do write them out at the end of my morning pages every day. I have them in there. A couple of quotes that sort of came from The Artist's Way on here. I've covered up most of the calendars because I'm not really using them. This is my sort of vision board sort of thing for the year. Some images that kind of remind me of what I want to be doing, and I don't know, just nice images basically. And then I used, this is the kind of, I don't know what you call it, monthly vertical pages. I'm just using that for a habit tracker. So not doing great on the habits, but it's not surprising because everything's a bit strange at the moment. So I'm going to have April, May and June in here, and obviously July will go into the next Avec if I continue using that one. Accounts I've covered up because, I don't know, it just feels a bit weird showing my accounts. But basically I have a credit card tracker. I kind of keep a list of everything we've used on the credit card and then cash. And this was a tip in because this was coming from my previous setup, my Filofax, so I just kind of stuck that in there. June cash and July credit card, and that should cover me until I move into the next one basically. These tabs are I just stuck them on with washi tape, nothing fancy. I think they're just printed on photo paper. I just cut them out manually and stuck them on washi tape, nothing fancy. So this was supposed to be my projects and actions page. So I think this was probably I don't know what this is actually. It's the monthly tracker, isn't it? So April, May, June, July. So August, September, October, November I used for accounts. And then December, January, February, March you get for the following year. I've just converted into projects and actions. And I haven't got anything on here at the moment because it's a bit hard to kind of plan projects at the moment, but the space is there if I need it. This is just the 3 chapters of The Artist's Way that I'm going to work through for April, May and June. Listed, and a cute little sticker from Happy Day stickers on there. And then I completely covered the next 4 pages with plain sticker paper. So you can get like A4 sheets of sticker paper, and I just cut it up into A6 pieces and I just stuck them down. And this is kind of my Kanban board, which I mentioned before, basically writing down things I want to do or need to do on post-it notes. So these would be all like my to-dos, and then once they're done I'd move them to here, and obviously if they're recurring they'd go here. But I'm not really using it at the moment because things are a bit up in the air, but I wanted a place to kind of keep them for now in case I do need them again. And then I have the February, March calendar that I don't need, so these are spare pages. So I'm using, obviously I use the April calendar, and this is the May and the June calendar. I won't use the July because I'm not really forward planning, so I don't think there's anything I need to write on there. I'll simply just get the other half of the Avec and I'll write things in there. On these pages I had some watercolour paint left over, so when I'm doing painting on my palette I end up with like a load of old paint, and I quite like to use them up, use the paint up. So I started sort of colouring in, just colouring in the days, different colours. So I did that for those 2 months that are remaining. In terms of the daily pages, there's obviously nothing on any of them up until like when I started using it, which was 21st of April. So these are just blank. And I don't mind because what are you going to do? I can always use them for something. So I'm not like setting any expectations for myself for how I'm going to do each page, basically. I just use it if I want to use it, and if I don't, I don't. And most of the time I do, but some of the times I don't, and I don't really feel bad either way about it. So sometimes there's a to-do list, sometimes it's like, if I'm like doing something during the day and I'm writing notes, I might just stick it in. So this is actually a post-it note, what do you call them? Sticky note. That I was doing when I was editing a YouTube video, and I just thought, well, I'll just shove that in because that's kind of part of my day. These are the stickers that I made, which I showed in a previous video. So that's kind of saying how many steps I did. That's kind of representing me and my son, and if I have any like nice memories about him, I put something there. And obviously a meal sticker. This day I clearly didn't want to write anything, so I just shoved some photos down. Again, not so much on this day, just put some photos in. Yeah, so just whatever I feel like, really. Some days I feel like doing like the extra doodling, some days I don't. These are date stickers by Jenna Templeton that I've been using, which has been really fun. Some washi tapes, my stickers here. Just basically whatever I wanted on these pages. Again, this was me using a watercolour paint from my palette. I bought some washi tape, so I just shoved the labels in here. This is a photocopy from the Japanese art reference book I was showing in a previous video, and I had it just lying around, and I was sort of clearing up my desk, and I thought I'd just cut that out for May. So that's sort of just tipped in between April and May, basically. I didn't obviously write anything on this day, these 2 days. This one is just it's just a to-do list. I wrote a to-do list on a post-it note, and by the end of the day I didn't feel like doing much, so I just stuck that on. A bit of new washi tape, and again, just to-do lists and doodles is obviously what I felt like. And that's actually today. I did stick this task from my like Kanban system on here because I do need to do that. Still haven't done it, but every time I flip to today, I do get a reminder of the thing that I do need to do. So that's fine to stay there. At the end of the book, I just, on the back sort of page, I just stuck a few post-it notes in case I need them. And in here, this is actually a week's size Hobonichi notebook. You can get them in packs of 3 to fit the week's size. But I didn't, because I didn't have any of the A6 ones this year. Well, I've never had them actually. I figured I'd just cut this one down, so it would have been a little bit longer, but I've just hacked the top off, I think. So this is my reference book. The idea being that when I move into another one, if I do another A6, or actually any other format really, to be honest, I can just take this with me. And this is the stuff I'd have to write out again and again, and I don't want to have to. So I have things like, I mean, I won't show you all because there's quite a lot of private information, but my son's current clothes size. So when I'm out, if I'm like, oh, not that I am out these days, but you know, in the past, if I was out in the shop and I saw some new shoes or a new t-shirt, I could check and remember what size he is, because I can never remember. I have opening times of shops inside here, and notes about his car seat and the emergency box in the car, like what's in each thing and dates of when things expire. Notes about like luggage for flights, because I can never remember what they are. And then at the back I just have things like pen tests, because they're always useful to have. So that's just shoved in the back here, and that's quite neatly, it stays in there. This pocket here it's kind of tricky to get in and out of, but I've just shoved these sticky notes in. I always have them with me out of habit. I just like them. They sort of go with me in every single planner for no particular reason. I do use them sometimes, but that's just where they live. So, and that little envelope at the back has got a bit of emergency cash in it, because I like to have emergency cash sort of hidden around randomly. I'm not using the bookmarks. They're just sort of shoved in behind here, and then I've tucked them in here. I've done them so they're straight, so they're not going to get crumpled. And then the back section here is full of things that don't have a home yet. So this is like some notes from the artist's way that I need to sort out, creative project ideas, sort of like creative things. I've got a load of official letters I need to sort through, a few more like pictures and things, and super important information about my son's nursery in there. So that's just, I mean, these are just come straight out of my Filofax. They still have the holes in, and I've just shoved them in there. I didn't think I had to trim them, which was lucky. So they're just going in there. So the only thing I'm not carrying with me is my sort of sticker stash, which is this lot. I don't have an awful lot of stickers, to be honest. But because if I put those in here, when I zip it up, it sort of warps it a bit. So they're just out onto the side at the moment. Yeah, and that's fine. I just grab them when I need them, really, because I don't really journal out anymore. It's all done at home, so this sort of suits my purposes. So I think that's all there is to say, really. Yeah, so I'm not sure if I'm going to continue in this. I've used the A6 size before, but I used the English planner, the Hobonichi English planner, which is where you get the full year all in one. And it feels weird for me to have the year split in two. It's useful if you're going to bulk it out with lots of photos. So obviously if you're going to fill it with loads of things, it's good to have the thin version so that it can sort of spread out to quite wide. But I don't know, I suppose it just feels odd to have only half the year, because I'm going to have to do all this. I realised after I'd done all this sort of setting up and sticking things in, I'm going to have to do it all again in a couple of months for the next one, which is slightly, annoying. But yeah, I'm just basically experimenting. I think it's quite a good opportune moment to kind of experiment with things, to be honest, and see how they go. Yeah, so I'm kind of thinking next year maybe to go larger. I'm not sure. Anyway, there's no point thinking about that now, because it's only, May? And got plenty more months left of 2020. So I think I'll finish there, really, because I've kind of run out of steam of things to say. So yeah, you can see kind of with everything in there, like the reference book and then everything tucked in the back, it only just really zips up comfortably. I mean, you probably could fit more in, but I'd feel like I didn't really want to strain it too much. Yeah, so I've gone blank and I've run out of things to say, so I'll just end there, and I hope you enjoyed this little tour of my current setup, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye!